It's election day. The zoo's here. Let's bring in Alicia. Hey, how's it going?
There.
How are
you?
Measure Z, it's on the ballot again.
It is. It's been 10 years.
Has it been 10 years?
Yes, it has.
So 2004?
Exactly.
It seems like it was longer than that.
Well, to me, it seems shorter than that.
How much money's been raised in the last 10 years?
We predict, because technically it expires at the end of March, so we predict it will raise $110 million.
Wow, can I hear that? That's a lot of money right there. This was raised at 1 penny per $10 spent.
Exactly. So it's 1/10 of 1%. That tiny amount can add up to that huge amount to help our zoo.
The zoo, one of my favorite things to brag about in Fresno, and has been since I was a kid. I've always just been mesmerized by the zoo. It's getting bigger and it's getting better, and people around the nation are noticing that Fresno Zoo is getting bigger and better.
You are absolutely right. In fact, we just won the most prestigious award. I say it's the Oscars of the zoo world. We won the Best Picture Oscar, basically. The top honors for an exhibit award, which we were in the same category with SeaWorld, San Diego Zoo, and the Smithsonian, which is the National Zoo. And we won.
And we won
for Sea Lion Cove.
For
Sea Lion Cove, which was brought to you by Measure Z.
How much did that cost to put together?
$10.5 million.
Drop in the bucket, right?
So 1/10 of the total amount of Measure Z.
For the people out there, before we go any further, let's just talk about some numbers.
Okay.
Because did I hear 700,000 people went to the zoo last year?
691. You are correct.
691,000.
Yes.
Do you have a number on what kind of numbers they did in 2004?
We are up 65% in the last 5 years.
Wow.
So in 2004, we were around the 400,000 mark, I want to say.
Now, these people that are going to the zoo, are they just Fresnans, or are we getting people from all over California?
From all over the world.
Really?
So last year, we had people from 15 different countries, and it wasn't just one person from each of these different countries. It was thousands of people, and people from 47 states and D.C.
How do you know that?
The front gate's really smart. They track it as they're coming in. They can ask zip codes and that sort of thing.
How's the word getting out to all these people to come to the Fresno Zoo? Is it people that are coming to Yosemite?
That's what we think, because to be honest, the zoo isn't doing a lot of marketing, tourism type marketing. They would like to do that in the future. So we do think it's people just visiting the area, or they're coming to visit friends and family, and they say, let's go to the zoo. You're here to visit Yosemite, and you tack on a day and go to the zoo. But word is definitely getting out. In fact, I talked to the people at the zoo that just came back from their national conference where they won the award, and they said years ago they'd have to explain where Fresno was and explain they were Fresno Chaffee Zoo. Well, now when they were meeting people at this national conference, they'd say, you're from Fresno Chaffee Zoo, and it was known, and so we're getting a great reputation. Right? Yes, great
let's
things
talk about
happening.
What we're doing, because Billy and I drove by there yesterday, and there's some stuff going on.
There is some stuff going on. The zoo is going to double in size, so we expanded. We're currently on about 18, 19 acres. We've expanded about an 18-acre expansion, so we'll be 39 when we're done. And right now, so that's African Adventure, which is in the expansion. About 13 acres are being developed of that right now, which will be complete in October. A year from right now, we will be walking through African Adventure. Ground broke on January 6th, so we're about halfway through. And it's going to bring back lions and rhinos and cheetah, meerkat, all of our African animals will go over there that we have. We'll get a breeding herd of African elephants.
Now they get to run around, too, a lot more.
My best example, because I don't know all the numbers, but what I do know is right now our giraffe are on about a 3/4 of an acre. Mm-hmm. They'll have about 4 acres to roam around on out there. So,
what happens to the stuff inside the zoo when all the animals get moved out? Are we getting more animals?
Well, that's why we want Measure Z to pass today, because then if we continue to have that funding, we'll have monies available to be able to repurpose those areas. So if you think about it, where the giraffe are, there's zebra right there, there's the eland in there. So that's a large area that's mostly African animals that will move over, that we can decide what we don't know yet. We know we want to expand the tiger exhibit.
Right.
That's probably number one priority in the current footprint.
Pretty close to the elephants too, right?
Right,
there.
right.
Now, did I hear something about a restaurant going inside?
Well, yes and no. So in the African area, there'll be another, I don't even want to say concession stand, because it won't quite be a restaurant.
Wait, you guys don't have a concession stand. You have the Safari Cafe.
Right. Our Safari Cafe is pretty awesome. The food is great now. Well, this will be kind of even a little more higher end. There's going to be a pizza oven in there. And with a bit of an African theme, but really good food. It won't be I don't say a restaurant because you won't be able to come in off the street and just go there as a restaurant. It'll be part of the zoo, but yes, it'll be another dining experience at the zoo. Awesome. And it will be that. A great, you can sit in there and overlook the savannah and just enjoy yourself and hang out in there.
There was some opposition to this. There were some people that didn't want this. And for the life of me, I can't understand why.
Well, I like you. We're in America. We're all entitled to our opinion. So, do you want me to tell you what the opposition?
Well, it's just. I mean, is it over? Is the fight over?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out at 8 o'clock tonight.
The Rotary Playland and the Storyland, they're separate.
They are separate
from the zoo.
They're separate from the zoo.
My vision is something much bigger, with big roller coasters and
oh goodness,
and an all-inclusive thing where when you go in, it's the zoo and the playland and the storyland and everything's together.
And there are a lot of people.
That train goes through everywhere.
There's a lot of people that have that vision. I mean, that's not a current plan that I'm aware of, but I hear it all the time. So. You never know what the future will bring. You learn never say never, but there's not a current plan for that right now.
There's still a lot of money left over after this African safari is built.
Well, with this current Measure Z that we're in right now, that exhausts all of the money in that. So we will have spent because 33% of the Measure Z money gets to go to operations. So that's one of the reasons that our admission prices haven't gone up in 10 years, because it helps out with that.
What will happen to the admission prices when it opens?
Well,
because keeping it affordable is important.
Exactly. That is number one priority of Measure Z. So there might be a very teeny tiny increase, but nothing, we won't have, if Measure Z passes, we won't have to double our prices or do anything like that to have to, offset those operational costs, which will go up dramatically when the zoo doubles. So if Measure Z passes...
Can I raise my hand?
Of course.
You guys at home, for us, a family of 4... It was $60 for a whole year.
$55.
Wow. What did Kim do with that other $5? Get her on the line. No, so it was $55 for a family of 4 for a whole year.
Well, and really, that's even just...
Are you going to keep on going?
That is just adults. If you have 10 kids in your family, they can all get in that membership.
Is there a better deal in town?
No,
it's just amazing. During the summertime when it's hot, go over there in the mornings and all the shade over there. It's just the best deal in town.
That's what I think.
Every Fresnan should be voting for yes on Measure Z.
I agree.
And how much longer till is it going to take another 10 years before we get anything else happening over there?
No. If this passes tonight, guess what we're going to start doing tomorrow? We're going to design a hippo exhibit.
Oh, a hippo exhibit.
So we will have to wait for the money to accumulate a bit before we can build it, but we can start design tomorrow, and that will go in Africa with underwater viewing.
Ooh, like the Lion Cove.
Just like Sea Lion Cove, exactly.
All right, what else do you want to tell the people at home?
Get out and vote if you haven't done it already. Vote yes on Z.
All right, and great weather this weekend. Get out and see the zoo.
Yes, come visit.
The night lights.
Well, we just finished Zoo Boo, and now Zoo Lights is coming up for Christmas time. So
and that's a great time.
It is a great time.
I'd like to see you guys open up at night a lot more. Okay.
Well, with Africa, once Africa
Alicia,
comes.
thank you for coming by. Make sure you get out and
you.
vote yes on Measure Z.
Thank you.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.